making this all up, and this could be a dreamy, airy-fairy, you know, self-glorifying, you know, description of our foreign policy. Well, I'll give you some examples. When the Iranians captured 15 soldiers and they were taken to Tehran, our Prime Minister's conversation with the Iranians facilitated a much quicker release of those soldiers than normally would have taken place. Our influence on the Sunnis in the Iraqi election was critical in the Sunnis to take part in that election. It's critical. Anyone who knows Iraq knows how critical to have the Sunnis on board if ever a united and somehow working Iraqi political entity will emerge. Israel and Pakistan established relations in Istanbul. For the first time, we had a Turkish Secretary General of the Islamic Conference Organization. And for the first time, the Islamic Conference Organization elected a Secretary General by vote. It was democratically elected. They put on a piece of paper someone's name. For the first time, this organization, I don't know, 40, 50 years old, had a democratic election about a new Secretary General. It was a I mean, he happened, you know, we won the case, and it was a tragic thing. Not to mention our negotiation process with the European Union. We have brought this country into a negotiation process that many Europeans thought would never occur, and they therefore never bothered to seriously entertain the question of what European Union membership of Turkey would mean for the Union. I just came from a trip to Germany. Before I came here, I was a week in Germany, and we followed, on the invitation by the Christian Democratic Union, the 2 elections in the Länder of Germany. I don't know if you followed this. And if you look at the composition of the delegation, you saw that they wanted to have Turks in there. They wanted us to follow the election in a land where the minister-president of that land is a potential successor of Angela Merkel. We met with Angela Merkel and the minister. I don't think 10 years or 15 years ago there were such invitations for such domestic political German issues where there was a Turkish component. Now, this of course is all great and fine and glorifying, but it also puts responsibility on our soldiers, on our shoulders. Because a good part of the Muslim world, Islamic world, Middle East, Far East, looks at us as a country that is economically growing, is negotiating with the European Union, has a working democracy, and has a predominantly Muslim population, has a secular system that allows it to have a functional democracy. We get tons of delegations who inquire about our party structure and want to engage with us, with young politicians, exchanges, want to find out how we're structured, how we are doing business, how we are performing in local government, how our female members of parliament or female branches within the party function, how the youth organization is structured. Because maybe Turkey is not a model for them, but it's certainly an inspiration. They see, especially progressive, liberal, open-minded Arab and Middle Eastern intellectuals, look at Turkey as a model from which, maybe not all of it, but some aspects can be copied and can become an inspiration for their own situations to improve. And this puts responsibility on our shoulders. We not only responsible for the affairs in our national borders, not that we want something, but we feel increasingly that relationship with others, that people follow how this experience will fare. People are interested in the future of this experiment. If you remember the European Union summit in Copenhagen, where the date for actual negotiations was declared, there were about 250 Arab journalists, or Middle Eastern journalists, showing the extent to which a major foreign policy development creates interest in the Middle East and Arab world. I don't know how many minutes it has been, but I think I'll stop here, and we'll hopefully go into more specific issues or areas in the Q&A. Thank you for listening to this unprepared speech that I tried to deliver in a cohesive manner, and thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much, Suat. Now I'd like to open the floor to questions. If you could introduce yourself with name and affiliation, and if you keep your questions short, let everybody participate, it would be great.
Lydia Borland, I'm a consultant on Turkish issues. There's a lot of people around town that were questioning, maybe you can shed light on why Turkey hosted the president of Sudan.
Good. I've been here for 2 days, and I have not been in a meeting where this has not been asked.
Okay. There's a lot of...
Right. No, I agree. No, I understand. Look, 1 month before the election, I'm from Çankırı, and that's the district I'm representing. 1 month before the election, the mayor of Çankırı came up to me and said, Mr. Kiniklioglu, we just hosted the governor of Khartoum in Çankırı. Khartoum. And I said, what is the governor of Khartoum doing in Çankırı? And those who know Turkey, Çankırı is a very agricultural backwater, not really on a major transit route. Turns out there is an Islamic mayors meeting in Ankara, and the mayor invites the governor of Khartoum to Çankırı, who visited the Ottoman Research Center that the mayorship just recently established. There are now 25,000 new Ottoman documents in this research center. Turns out the governor reads and understands Ottoman. A couple of weeks ago, I was flying from Ankara to Istanbul, and we were on the same flight with our defense minister. And he was on his way to Sudan. The Turkish International Development Agency is providing assistance in Darfur. And our Prime Minister, I think either in early 2007 or late 2006, was in Darfur. Now, as I said, I was in Germany and I wasn't there what the whole picture about the trip is. But there is no doubt there is a Sudanese elite who has admiration and great interest in our Ottoman past. And I think this trip has been facilitated within this framework. There might be also a commercial dimension to it, oil searching. But there's no doubt that that the trip has created concern in Washington, maybe other capitals as well. As I'm not privy to how the trip developed and how it came about, I'm intending to look into it when I'm back. But one should notice that the identity of the Sudanese president in the international community is not widely known in Turkey. The trip in itself, as far as I could see from our media, and we have some members of the media here, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't really attract that much domestic attention either. But you're right, it created concern there, and as I said, we will look into it, how this came about, and